Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? So I was born in the year 1998, so I'm a little bit of an old man. Not that old as much as other people are, but you know, I'm pushing 30. That's all I need to say. So I'm pushing 30. And growing up in the early 2000s, I was a massive WWE fan. Like, me and my brother, we grew up during the Ruthless Aggression era. So, like, during the 2000s was our prime time. As I said, I was born in 98. My brother was born in 2000, so we're a couple years apart. We started watching wrestling right as the Attitude Era finished. But we still knew about that. Obviously, we knew about the Attitude Era, but we grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era with HBK, Triple H. Obviously, they were from the Attitude Era, but they came over. Undertaker came over. John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Edge, like the fucking Mark Henry, Kurt Angle. The amount of like big names during that era was fucking unbelievable. And we used to love, like, me and my brother loved the wrestling so fucking much. We used to like do moves on each other while we're at home on the fucking couch, just, you know, putting each other in a fucking attitude adjuster, slamming each other on the fucking couch. Oh my god, going for like RKOs off the top of the couch. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, our mum would absolutely fucking yell at us and lose her shit at us for just pretty much almost injuring each other multiple times on multiple different occasions. And as I grew up and as the Ruthless Aggression era came to an end, I stopped watching wrestling altogether. I stopped watching it as it breaks your heart as a kid when you find out that wrestling is scripted and it is somewhat fake to a certain extent. Obviously, you know, not all of it is fake. Obviously, the results are fake and the storylines are fake. But when it comes to, you know, them jumping off the top ropes, as much as they, you know, do things to help protect each other, that shit still gotta hurt. Like, there's no way in hell that someone jumping off the top of a ladder like Jeff Hardy did back in that classic ladder match. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was for, but jumping off the ladder onto someone else who's on another ladder outside the ring. Like, you can't tell me that shit don't hurt. But as you grow up and you do find out, it breaks your heart a little bit. It's like, it's literally worse than finding out that Santa Claus isn't real. And I stopped watching it because I stopped losing interest in it. And I kind of thought for a little while, I was just like, oh, wrestling is stupid. But in the last year, I'd say in the last year, I've slowly been paying attention to it as it started to pop up on my For You page on TikTok. Now, even though I have not thought it stupid for a long time, I think when I was growing up and becoming a teenager, you know, you think everything's kind of dumb. But as I became an adult, I didn't think it was stupid. But I did know, like, from what the people who actually did pay attention to wrestling, I did hear that in the mid to late 2010s, and even like the early 2020s, from like, you know, like from 2020 to I'd say about like last year or the year before, is that wrestling was kind of going into a bit of a decline. And then it kind of like hit a part where no one really liked what was going on in the wrestling world. At least this is from an outsider. This is all I'm saying. So I might be wrong, but from what I have heard and from what I have read, is that a lot of people didn't really like the direction that WWE was going in. But in the last year, I've started to pay attention to it a little bit more. And with Vince McMahon not really leaving the company. Matter of fact, getting kicked out of the company. I did a video about him, you know, and all of the allegations that have come out against him. By him getting kicked out of the company, and Triple H, the fucking man himself, taking over as the senior person who's literally overseeing the whole entire WWE in terms of all the content that's going on. I can't remember his official, it's like CCO, and it's like something content organizer. Like, he is the one who oversees everything that goes on inside the ring and all the storylines that go on. And I am saying that ever since he's taken over, I have started to fucking love wrestling again. And I've been paying attention for the last year, and I've been getting into it more and more. And yesterday and today, at least from the moment I'm recording this, as the time this comes out, it'll be yesterday and the day before that, I was watching Wrestlemania 40. And I just want to say, holy shit. I have not watched a WrestleMania since I was like 10 years old. I can't remember the last time I watched it. It has been like, I'd say about 15 years since I have watched a WrestleMania. It's been so long, but I am so glad that I tuned into this because it was fucking amazing. I kind of like, I do and I don't like how they have 2 days for WrestleMania. I mean, I kind of like it because, it does kind of, make the spectacle of everything, even greater than it really is. But at the same time, when it's 2 nights, you're just like, the first night is kind of like, can be a gimmick at times. And then you're just really looking forward to the second night. And I will say that for a couple of the matches in night one was still really good. I didn't watch like every single one of them because even then I wasn't really like interested too much. I am shattered that I did miss out on the Rhea Ripley fight, but obviously I knew she was going to win. The ladder match, pretty decent. Rey Mysterio versus in the tag team match against his son Dominic, that one was pretty decent as well. I thought the Jey Uso fight and Jimmy Uso fight was like, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't anything special. I think the storyline of them being, the twin brothers beefing against each other was more interesting. The 6-woman tag team match, I didn't watch that, unfortunately, and neither did I watch the Sami Zayn and Gunther fight. But I heard that they were like, they were not bad, but they weren't like anything, special as much as the second night was. But the main event of the first night, with The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, it started off slow. I will say that. But as the match went on, it got better and better. Like, the last 15 minutes of that fight, it went for 44 minutes altogether. It went for a long time. And the last, 15 minutes were electric. It was so much fucking fun to watch. And I liked how, they were playing into the fact that The Rock is now, a board member of TKO, which is the company that owns WWE and UFC. So he's pretty much the boss of everyone there. And he was kind of telling the referee, obviously, the referee's in on it. Obviously, it's WWE, it's obviously, script and all that stuff. But I like the fact that they were playing on that so they could, get away with a few more things where, they were outside the ring and fucking Cody Rhodes hit Rock with a rock bottom through the fucking commentary table. That shit blew my fucking mind. And I kind of knew that, The Rock and Roman Reigns were going to win, night one, because they were hyping up, the whole Bloodline Rules thing the whole entire night and even, leading up to the fight itself. So that doesn't surprise me that they won. And then came night 2. And, oh my God. Night 2 was fucking amazing. Every match from night 2 was good. Every single match. Obviously, there's some that are obviously better than others. That's just how it's going to work on, obviously. But the opening match between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, that was such a good fight. That was such a good match to watch. It only went on for 10 minutes. But every single minute of that, from the opening, where Drew McIntyre kicked Seth Rollins straight in the face, I was just like, holy shit. I wasn't even paying attention. I had to rewind it because I didn't see it. I literally looked at my phone for a split second, and next thing I know, Seth Rollins is getting put in a pinfall. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? I had to rewind it to see what happens. And then after Drew McIntyre won, which, I mean, you kind of guess because Seth Rollins was pretty banged up from the night before, so I kind of, foresee it. That, it's kind of leading up to Drew McIntyre Drew McIntyre winning the fight. He's so obsessed with CM Punk because apparently CM Punk and him have beef. Now, obviously, I'm not, as much into the WWE as others. I kind of just like watching it a little bit more, as a casual fan. But WrestleMania, you obviously have to get into it. He was paying attention to CM Punk so much because he was a guest commentator during the fight that CM Punk ended up beating the shit out of Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre wouldn't leave him alone after the fight. And then Damian Priest, who is a wrestler who he won his Money in the Bank, he cashed it in after CM Punk started beating the shit out of Drew McIntyre and won the World Heavyweight Championship off him directly after beating Seth Rollins. I was just sitting on my couch. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, this shit's... Holy shit! I was like, whoa! What the hell? That blew my mind. And then the next 2 fights... There weren't any big stakes going on. They weren't too bad. I don't think the one with Final Test was Bobby Lashley and Street Profits versus the Final Testament. It was in a Philadelphia street fight, which is pretty much, I'm pretty sure, is another word for no rules. It's just go at each other, throw chairs at each other, do whatever you want. I like the fact that they did have Bubba Ray Dudley as a special guest referee. You knew when he come out as a special guest referee, that there was going to be tables involved. I liked that part of the fight. The rest of the fight, it was like, oh yeah, it wasn't too bad. The LA Knight and AJ Styles fight, that went on for like 12 minutes. It was a good. I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. I thought it was like a pretty decent fight, but I didn't think it was like anything special. But that's not taking away from it. I think it's just the other fights from WrestleMania were just so good that even like these two fights, they were actually like pretty good. Just like. The other fights just, like, they didn't seem as good because of how good the other fights were. And then the triple threat match. Oh my God. This is one of the highlights of the night. Listen, already was a good fight. And then out of fucking nowhere, I expected, because I remember from last year, because I saw it on Twitter last year, of when KSI like ripped off the face cover and he tried to interfere with Logan's fight. I can't remember who. I don't even know who he was fighting at the time. But when I saw that face get torn off and it was fucking Speed, I started pissing myself laughing. That shit was fucking. And then Randy Orton, like Speed starts barking at him. Like that fight was so good. And I see it all the time, and I have to, because obviously Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, they are 100% professionals. They've been doing this for a long time now, especially Randy Orton. I grew up during the Ruthless Aggression era when Randy Orton was the fucking legend killer. Every single night on, like, I think it was on Raw at the time, was just smacking cunts in the head. Every single night. Legit. He was called the legend killer because he'd bring on someone from the Hall of Fame and just kick them in the face every single night. Like, it was absolutely hilarious. But props to Logan Paul for someone who came into the WWE with no experience. The athleticism and professionalism that he shows in this industry is fucking amazing. Like, it's like he was born for this. Say whatever you want about him off cameras and off the WWE when it comes to, his NFT scamming and him as a content creator or him as like a person outside but as a WWE wrestler. Yeah, he's literally made for this shit. Like, he is 100% made for this shit, and I can see him doing well in years to come. Like, I can see him at some point, maybe even going for a higher championship than just the United States Championship, maybe going for something like the World Heavyweight Championship. I could see him fighting for that in years to come as well, because he does really, really good. And then the fight before the main event. Now, I don't know either of these fighters, Bayley and Io Sky, but man, that was actually a really fucking solid fight as well. I like how when there's fights, when it's like not fights that are no holds barred or disqualifications, and it's just a simple like championship fight, and it's just a singles match with like your normal WWE rules, and they still are able to put on a great show. That fight between Bayley and Io Sky was amazing. And I didn't know any of their background, but I did watch it because they put on before the fight of like, the backstory of like, how Io Sky and Bayley were friends, and then like Io betrayed Bayley and now they're not friends and now they're going after this. I could kind of see that it was leading up to Bayley winning this championship, and it was a good fight. It was a really fucking good fight. But obviously, the thing that made this night was the main event. Holy shit. So like I said, I've been paying attention to started to slowly get back into wrestling in the last year. And like have slowly been starting to pay attention to it, watching videos on TikTok. Like there's a couple people on TikTok that are like have got a decent amount of followers, and all they do is like post about wrestling content and like what's been going on, and like every single time something happens, or even like give you like, oh, this is what happened in this year, or this is what happened with this person's storyline. So I kind of get a general conception of what's been going on. And the storyline of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, man, like the storyline itself is what really built up this fight. And it was fucking cinema. Holy shit. This can't have been done any better. The build up to this fight was fucking amazing. And then during this fight, oh my lord. The fight started off great. I thought the fight was going so well. And then one of the Uso brothers come out. I can't remember which one. I think it was Jimmy, that's like still friends with Roman Reigns, comes out to try and help Roman Reigns. And out of nowhere, his twin brother Jay decides to come out as well. And fucking Jimmy runs towards him. Ray spears him off the side of the stage into tables that are right next to the stage. When that happened, I'm just like, what the fuck? then one of Roman Reigns' other friends, I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, but one of his other people that are like inside that the bloodline, as it's called, comes in to help Roman Reigns defeat Cody Rhodes, and then you hear the fucking John. When I heard John Cena's music, I felt like I was 10. I literally felt like I was a kid again. My dog was sleeping on my lap, and I was sitting on the couch and he was sleeping on my lap. I started losing my shit that my dog woke up and freaked the fuck out. I like picked him up and I was jumping up and down in the living room with my dog in my arms. And he's like looking at me because I just woke him up like, what the fuck are you doing? Losing my shit. Decides to attitude adjustment Roman Reigns, and he gives it AA to like Roman Reigns' other friend. I can't remember his fucking name off the top of my head, but I'm just like so into this, into like talking right now that I don't want to search it up. Attitudes into the commentary table outside the fucking ring, then goes in to help Cody Rhodes, and then the fucking Rock comes in, and I'm just like, I knew Rock was gonna be back. I was like, you know what? A part of me, because I saw people saying this on Twitter, that some people were speculating that The Rock would actually betray Roman Reigns in this fight, but I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that will be the case. But he comes out to face Cena, and I was just like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Cena misses the punch. Rock gives him a fucking rock bottom, and then the biggest shock of the night. Now, I saw many people saying that they thought it was Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to come out. And honestly, I could have seen it. But I think there might have been issues with maybe getting Stone Cold out or whatever the hell it was. But when I heard the Tombstone music playing, when I heard Undertaker's theme song come on, holy shit. You thought I lost it for John Cena? Nah. When I heard that Undertaker music, oh my, the lights went black out of nowhere. Undertaker pops up behind The Rock, choke slams him, lights go off again, and then they're fucking all gone, and it's just Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes left. Holy shit. The moves that they were putting on each other, the people that came out for this fight, and then Cody Rhodes hits his finisher on Roman Reigns 3 times in a row to end the fight. And it ends like that whole entire storyline. And I think that like, oh my God, this was great. Like I said, for a long period of time, I didn't watch wrestling and I didn't really care for it. And I kind of heard that it was going a little bit downhill. But let's give hats off to Triple H. Paul Levesque, I can't remember. I don't know. I can never pronounce his last name correctly. But Triple H, the legend himself, he has done bits for this company. And he is bringing WWE back into the limelight where it fucking used to be. With this era, that is just starting, because this is a new era. Like, this era right now, they're already calling it the Triple H era, and I honestly think that it should be called that, because the things that he is doing for this company right now is fucking unbelievable. It's gotten me, a 26-year-old man who hasn't given a shit about wrestling for a long time, coming here and making a video about how much I enjoyed WrestleMania. Like, on this channel, I usually just talk shit about random stuff, but I fucking needed to make a video about this because it was all over my Twitter, and it's all I did for the last 2 days was watch WrestleMania. And holy shit, it was fucking amazing. But man, I'd like to hear what you guys have to think about this down below. Did you watch WrestleMania? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? If you didn't watch it, and even if you haven't watched wrestling in a long time, trust me, go and watch this WrestleMania. Just watch like some of the videos. There's probably videos already up on YouTube, like of the highlights of WrestleMania 40, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. It was so much fucking fun to watch, and I loved it. And I'm definitely going to be watching more of the pay-per-view events like that come on. I think it was like Backlash is next month, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to be watching it. 100% I'm going to be watching it because that was good. That was amazing. But that's it from me, guys. Peace out.